like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest on the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to Apply. All right, today I have Sean Fahey on the line, and he's CEO and founder of VidCruiter. Sean, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Adam.
All right, Sean, so I'm excited to get into your recruiting platform and really to talk about how you're helping HR teams worldwide. But before we get into that, we'll start this episode the way that we start them all with our Mission Matters Minute. So, Sean, we at Mission Matters, we amplify stories for entrepreneurs, executives, and experts. That's our mission. Sean, what mission matters to you?
Thanks, Adam. VidCruiter's mission, and VidCruiter is the company that I founded, is really to help our clients build a customized recruitment process that delivers them the highest quality employees in the most efficient and cost-effective way possible. So to really hit quality, efficiency, and cost savings. Typically, we would get one of those two or three, but our goal is to hit all three of them.
Oh, that's awesome. Great having you on the show, and I love bringing mission-based entrepreneurs on the line to share why they do what they do, how they're doing it, and really what we can all learn from that so we all grow together. So again, great having you on. So Sean, I guess just to get us kicked off here, I mean, where did the idea for VidCruiter come about? Like what gave you the idea to go into this?
Yeah, so I was an entrepreneur most of my life, and between businesses I would work some side jobs and little jobs here and there, and during one of those transitions after the 2008-2009 recession, I got hired to work for an insurance company, and they were sort of a startup insurance company, and their goal was to hire 200 people over the next 5 years across the country. And I started to think about, how would you do that in 30 days? Just what would you do if you had to hire 200 people in 30 days across the country? And I really just sat down and started to do the math of resumes and phone screens and interviews and screening and reference checking. And I was like, I wish there was just a tool that would just automate most of those steps and stages in that process. And that's where the idea for VidCruiter came from. I realized that video would be a key component to that whole process, and that we should build a video platform that was built on top of a hiring platform to automate most stages in the recruitment process to get me just to sit with the client, basically.
And so, I mean, I'm looking at, and I mean, the company's been around for, at least over 10 years. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. So you've been in the space for a while, yeah?
Yeah, I had that idea in 2009, and it took a couple of years to really understand the industry and software. I wasn't from a software background. I wasn't from an HR background. And we then launched the company in 2012 and then launched our first product in 2013.
Wow, what an amazing story. And so you, I feel like your company, your platform, you must have been really popular once for context for everybody listening to this, we're recording this now in the end of January 2023, so, tail end of the pandemic. But wow, when everything shut down and business was like your platform must have been like one of those beacons of light, right? That still allowed people to get through business.
You're right. So that very first week of COVID, we started to panic a little bit. Will we have to shut down our business? What's going to happen? Everything started to slow down, and people were panicking in the market and everything. And then the week after, our website just started to get flooded with people asking for leads. And those were pharmaceutical companies and manufacturing companies and the organizations that hired nurses and doctors and stuff. So we were like a key player in helping hire all sorts of people all across the world to help hire as fast as possible for all those industries that need to staff up all of a sudden.
Now, for those that haven't used a platform quite like VidCruiter or even explored as much, and I feel like now, post-pandemic, maybe many more have than were prior to, but I'm sure there's still some holdouts that haven't really used video platforms for things like hiring and otherwise. What do you think some of the key benefits to a platform like VidCruiter?
Sure. I mean, most people have used Zoom or Teams or something like that, right? Those products are specific to just meetings. Our product is specific to recruiting. And so we have two different video products, one where the candidate records at home, and you just watch those videos the same way that you log into a Netflix platform or Amazon Prime, you know? You just sit down and watch videos, and you decide who you actually want to talk to. That's the first sort of screening video product that we have. The second video product that we have is it has auto-scheduling built in, so you don't have to do all the scheduling activities. It has text message, email reminders for all the candidates. And candidates can click one button from their cell phone and join a video conference on the spot.
Wow.
The benefit of the recruiter or hire manager is your interview questions are built in. So as I'm talking to them, I'm going through the meeting, my interview questions are there, I'm rating them. And as you're done the interview, you can hit hire, not hire, move forward, whatever the next step is, and that will automatically move that candidate through whatever next steps or stages you need to. So when we compare ourselves to like video conferencing systems, we have over 1,000 features, that's just like 5 of them, that really move the needle in terms of helping organizations get organized using video, but specialized in the space of recruiting.
That's interesting. And so, what kind of companies do you typically work with? So, is this only for enterprise, or is this like middle market? Does it fit in there too, or is the small business have a place with VidCruiter? Like, give us a feel for kind of the landscape there.
We have 8 products, and so we do serve a lot of enterprise clients with some of these key interviewing products because we have a lot of interview compliance products to help with compliance and structure and proper reporting and proper interviewing around EEOC guidelines and OFCCP guidelines and this kind of stuff. We also have a subset of organizations that are like governments or schools or teachers that we hire and all this kind of stuff. You have to be hiring at least 25 people a year or more to use any of our technology or products. Generally, if you're hiring less than that, it would be rare that we would have someone sign up. There are some, a couple of clients in that space, but most of them would be hiring, over 100 and then above from there.
And in terms of the user journey or integration into current like HR processes, and I know I don't want this to seem like a loaded question because it's not, but I know obviously for enterprise level client, it's going to be different to onboard a platform like VidCruiter than it will be for somebody that has less hiring need, let's say in terms of volume, quantity, maybe guidelines. But just in general, like how easily does VidCruiter like integrate into current HR processes?
Yep. So we do have standalone solutions for smaller businesses that don't have these more advanced technologies or platforms. And we do also already integrate with about 20 different what we call applicant tracking systems or HRIS systems. And those go from Workday to Oracle to IBM to SAP and all the big players and then all the mid-sized players. So we sort of, in our space, you have to work with everyone, right? Everyone has to sort of work together. It's co-opetition. There's some of us that compete, but we still at the end of the day do whatever is best for the client.
And so as I was looking around also at the website, looking at some of the different hiring products and things, I noticed virtual hiring events, and it seems, and you have a lot of different things going here. It seems like you're really covering a lot of bases in the hiring space just in general. Well, like, what's next? I mean, as VidCruiter keeps growing, as you keep adding the platforms, you keep, filling the gaps in the recruiting needs, like, what's next and what's on the horizon for the company?
So we have 2 main branches of our product line. One is hiring solutions, automated hiring, to help with organizations that have those kinds of needs. And the other set of products are all around interviewing, making interviewing better, more structured, more compliant, in all sorts of interviewing solutions. Our roadmap for the next 2-3 years here is still, to this day, to augment our interviewing products with interview intelligence and more compliance-focused product set, and to help with the hiring process even more. So, you'd think after 10 years of doing this that you would have finally, checked all the boxes, but there's so many different nuances and so many different ways in which organizations need our tools that it's never ending. You know, you're always adapting and improving the product just to make those processes in an organization better.
Oh yeah, and any of the businesses or entrepreneurs that are listening to this, business owners and entrepreneurs listening, they know like it is never ending because you always want to create a better product. You always want to make sure that you're tweaking and refining, that you're taking the user feedback, in this case the recruiters and the companies that are using the product, taking their suggestions when appropriate and implementing them where it makes sense for the greater good of the product. So I love it. I love the story, the journey. When you started it, and then also just when who would have thought like something like a pandemic would happen, then you'd be the like an essential tool for people to continue to running businesses. And I love when entrepreneurs are ahead of the curve like that and really just trying to satisfy a need. And then sometimes some things happen. Obviously, we don't want to see anything negative, but something happens in the marketplace, hopefully good, to where you can fill that gap and you have a lot of stuff figured out already that others need. So I love it. I think it's a great story. That being said, Sean, if somebody is listening to this or watching this and they want to follow up and they want to learn more about VidCruiter, what's the best way for them to do that?
Sure. I mean, just to touch on the previous point, before the pandemic, we were about 40 employees, and in 2 years went from 40 to 220.
Wow.
So just like a massive growth, and that wasn't through venture capital funding. It was just client buying more and more and more. About 200% growth there. It's just been wild, but. Yeah, I mean, if anyone ever needs any help in any kind of recruiting capacity or structured interviews or anything that has to do with the recruiting world, that's where we're sort of experts. And yeah, it's just vidcruiter.com. You can sign up, you can watch some videos, you can learn about our solutions, you can read case studies from the UN to, all sorts of different organizations around the world to help with whatever component of the recruiting you need. Some clients just call us to automate reference checking. It doesn't have to be the whole suite. But yeah, that's where we come from, and that's where we're doing, and we're pretty excited about the future because there's more and more innovation happening within our own product set.
Oh, I'm excited too. I'm excited to continue to follow and watch the journey, and I'm definitely a fan of VidCruiter over there, what you're doing, and congrats on the phenomenal growth and really helping your clients. Love to hear stories like this. So thanks again for coming on the show, and to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. We'll put the links that were mentioned in the show notes so that you can just click on it and head on over and check out vidcruiter.com. And if this is your first time with Mission Matters or engaging with the platform or listening to an episode, we're about bringing on business owners, entrepreneurs, executives, and experts and having them share their mission, their businesses, their companies, how they're adding value to the marketplace and making a difference. If that's the type of content that sounds interesting or fun or exciting to you, then we invite you to hit that subscribe button because we have many more mission-based individuals coming up on the line and we don't want you to miss a thing. And Sean, really appreciate you making time for us today. Thanks again for coming on the show.
Thanks, Adam.